Welcome to Quill Sword Blogcast. Russian coup. Is it all over now? Yes, no, and maybe. I'm not being snarky. That's the real answer right now. I know it's not the answer you want, but it's the answer you need. I started this blog podcast video thing because I was seeing so many people in comment sections scared to death of nothing at all. Make no mistake, boomers weren't as well educated as we should have been, but we came out a lot better off than the generations behind us. Millennials and Gen Z didn't have the experience we did of growing up around the greatest generation while in the middle of the Cold War. They lack our perspective, and they were so poorly educated that they jump at every shadow. People aren't static. We boomers learned the hard way that we had to leave college and go get jobs. That sentence doesn't do justice to the culture shock that was to the me generation. But just as we learned, so can our kids and grandkids. They will learn because they have to. But maybe we can soften the blow a little bit. Which is why I'm not giving you my analysis of what did or did not happen, what will and will not happen. The situation is fluid. It can and likely will change. Worse, I'm not kidding that there's no worse job than analyzing Russian politics. I doubt Russian political scientists enjoy the task, and I know no one else does. Russia is big, complex, and so dang corrupt that the mafia would have a hard time figuring it out. Russia is also almost OCD in their secretiveness. Pretty much everything visible on the surface, there's a ton more we can't see underneath. All of that translates to no one is sure what the heck is going on right now. The best Russian analysts are pulling out their hair as they prep their reports. Everything is preliminary. And yet we have to try anyway. That's why the TV is full of experts giving you their guesses. The ones to listen to are the ones that tell you what I did at the start. We don't know yet. Can we speculate meaningfully? Yes, to a degree, a limited degree. Too many facts are missing to be able to assess the situation in Russia, but there are a few things we can be reasonably confident of at this point. Whatever it was, this was bad for Russia as a whole. Highly secretive and highly corrupt do not add up to highly stable. Russia historically gets past that by using the strongman strategy. They let someone be in charge and ignore their government thereafter. Works for them until it doesn't, and then they repeat the cycle. Of course, that's an oversimplification, but the gist is that Russia is dependent on Putin as a strongman, and this weekend's events tore down that facade. Weakening Putin sets up Russia for more turmoil. Don't put away the popcorn just yet. Was it bad for Putin? Absolutely. His response was lackluster at the very least. This is unimportant internationally, but critically important inside Russia. Putin has options, so don't count him out just yet. But he will be rebuilding his power base and taking steps to protect himself from future embarrassments. If he can. That remains to be seen. Pass the butter, please. Was it good for Lukashenko? Maybe. I'm skeptical of the sudden White Knight act where Lukashenko saves the day. Did he make himself invaluable to Putin, or did he win points with Prigozhin? Something else entirely? Is he just using the opportunity to make himself look good? I don't know the answers to those questions, and I don't think anyone except maybe Lukashenko does. This is a wait and see part. We're going to need more salt. Does it benefit Ukraine? Sure, but we don't know how much yet. When your enemies start fighting each other, it is always a good thing for you. But remember, when those enemies are siblings, they can turn on you again just as fast. This is the suspense part. I'm going to need some Jordan almonds to go with this. Was it good for Prigozhin? Tentatively, yes, or he wouldn't have backed down. Prigozhin is a fairly astute political animal, so while we can't rule out that he just really had a stupid plan, we can suspect that there's more in his hand than he's shown yet. Ooh, this is the scary part. I'm going for more popcorn. Tell me when it's over. What about Wagner? Too early to say, but don't count them out yet. I've never really been sure if they were the sidekick or the comic relief. I'd better get an extra large popcorn for this part. Is it the West's fault? Stop. I can't eat and laugh that hard at the same time. Are you kidding? Russia got themselves into this mess all by themselves. Heck, they'd probably be better off if they really were up against NATO. At least the war would be over already. What's going to happen? I don't know. My crystal ball is in the shop. Seriously, it's too early and we know too little for those kinds of assessments. I can see 4 or 5 reasonable possibilities and about 20 more unreasonable ones. I can only toss 2 or 3 that are too stupid even for Russia on her worst day. So no, we don't know how this will all shake out. How long will it take? This ain't a video game. It takes as long as it takes. Russia could implode tomorrow or take months to straighten itself out again. I wouldn't bet on the first one, but I wouldn't be surprised by it either. Remember when I said the situation was fluid? It's like guessing where the spilt milk will run to. You're guaranteed to miss a few cracks. The real answer is we don't know what's happening or how it will end yet. You don't need to be scared. This is just Russia being Russia. It's not going to set off a nuclear war, and it's not going to result in a war with the U.S. Those things take a lot more than just this. And don't ignore it. That's when the Russians get you, you know. But don't be afraid of it either. As it shakes out, we'll find out how it affects the West and Ukraine, but don't expect World War III over keeping Putin in power. That doesn't benefit Russia or Putin, so we can be really sure that that much is not going to happen. Prigozhin as the new head of Russia? Putin starting a major purge? Russia trying to forget the whole thing? All possibilities with no way to assign probabilities. Personally, I'm not rooting for the first two. Whatever happens, it's probably going to be interesting. Extra butter, please.